I feel like I have like a love-hate relationship with dark nails. On the one hand, I really like it because it's like one coat and you're done, and I have no patience for nails, so that is great. But on the other hand, if you forget to put on a base coat, which 99.7% of the time I do forget, then your nails and basically all of your fingers turn whatever shade you put on. So yesterday I had put on a really nice, this one actually. This is the culprit. I took it off and like my nails were blue, my hands were blue. So this time around I put on a base coat because I'm not doing that again. That was incredibly time consuming to remove. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys a new full face first impression video, and this look that I'm thinking I want to do today was inspired by Patrick Ta. If you have ever seen his work on Instagram, oh my gosh, he is amazing. And he did this look recently, I think it was on Shay Mitchell, and it had this deep, like burnt orange brown sort of vibe, and it was dramatic but still subtle, had the soft peachy lip. It was so pretty. So I have a whole bunch of new products I want to test out, and I'm gonna try and sort of recreate that look a little bit. Give this video a thumbs up if you love full face first impression type videos. If there are any products that you want me to test out, leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And without further ado, let's get into this. So I'm going to start with the brows, and this is a new product from Benefit, and it is their foolproof brow powder. I have the shade 1 here, and it looks like this, and I guess the whole premise behind this is that you have a multi-dimensional look to your brows. So you have the lighter shade at the front and the darker shade at the end. It is supposed to be smudge proof, 12-hour long wear. I'm just going to put the product in using really light brush strokes. Now I'm going to use the darker one for the arch and for the end. There's one brow with the product in and one brow without. Like, it's very subtle. I don't know, I'm not really noticing the whole like gradient effect to darker. I'm not really noticing any difference. They all look the same shade to me, which is fine. Like, you don't want it to be a super stark difference, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more. If you like a really natural brow, then maybe you like this. It's not my favorite product from Benefit. I think I prefer like the Ka-Brow a lot better. Now for eyeshadow, I'm gonna be using 2 different palettes. One I'm gonna be using is the Physicians Formula. This is their anniversary palette, sort of going old school a little bit, super cute. And this is in classic nudes. So you can see there, 2 shimmer shades, 2 matte shades. So I'm gonna play a little bit with these ones, as well as a couple of shades from the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Now I have tested out this palette before, but there are a couple of shades in here I have not tried yet and I feel will work really well for the look I'm trying to go for. So I'm gonna start with the lightest matte shade from the Physicians Formula palette and apply that to my lids and into the crease as well. And then I'm gonna take a mixture of the darkest shade and the lightest matte shade, and I'm just gonna mix them together and start it at the lid and then smoke it out and gradually make it a little bit lighter as it gets into the crease. And I'm just gonna blend that all in. These shades are so ridiculously creamy. Like, they feel so nice on the lids. They blend up, like, you can't really see it because it's basically my skin color, but like, they're so creamy and smooth. Like, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Do you see that, people? Look at that shine. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, one last shimmer shade. Yes, more of this, please. Physicians Formula. Make like 1,000 of these. These are awesome. I almost want to use those as a highlight. Too bad I have like, spoiler alert, I have like 50 different highlights I'm gonna be testing out today. It's gonna be a good highlight day. I think that's all the eyeshadow I'm gonna start with because most of it is going to be smoked out underneath the eyes, but I wanna get the rest of my face done. So first I'm gonna start with just the mascara and a little bit of liner. I'm gonna be taking the Annabelle Waterline Matte. This is their kohl liner, and I apply that just to the waterline at the top. And then I'm just gonna set it with this brown shadow here to just try and encourage it to stay in place and not run down my face. Now my lashes are curled, and I'm gonna go in with a new mascara. This is by Urban Decay, and this is their Troublemaker mascara, and it is supposed to stir up trouble with 13.7. 0.7 is important. Times the lash volume, 13.7. I love how accurate that is. Going to give super fat and super long lashes, so let's test this out because that is what I'm all about. All right, so that is one coat on both eyes. So far I'm liking the way that it's looking. They look very like soft and fluffy, but let's do another coat. Let's see how crazy voluminous these can get. So this is what my lashes look like with 2 coats. Overall, I like the formula. It's very interesting because my lashes look very fluffy and very soft, almost like I have like shorter false lashes on, but it's making my lashes like fall. Now, granted, my lashes fall with like pretty much every single mascara, so I'm not gonna dock them a ton of marks for that. So I will need to like recurl my lashes, especially on the outer edges. Now we're gonna go on to the face, and I'm gonna be using a primer that I tested out on Tuesday's video. This is the J1 Jelly Pack Dramatic Firming Skin Pore Smoothing Primer, this guy right here. When I first tested it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm just giving it another go, see how it looks, see how it feels. And now I'm gonna test out a new foundation. This is by the brand Stellar, and it is their Limitless Foundation. This is from Sephora. It says here it's going to give you imperceptible coverage and a glow of the stars, just in case anyone was wondering. So that is shade number 2. So I think that's going to be a good match for me today. And let's apply this. So far, it is blending in really smoothly. It gives a nice, subtle glowiness to the skin. And it's giving me, I'd say, medium coverage. It's blending out well. It's not settling into any large pores or creases or anything like that. Now for concealer, I have 2 different ones that I want to test out, but it's going to depend on which one matches my skin tone best is the one I'm going to be using today. So the first one is the YSL All Hours Concealer. This is full coverage 16-hour wear in the shade 1 Porcelain. The other one I've also been really interested in testing out is the Sephora Make No Mistake High Coverage Concealer, and I got the shade 04 Ginger. And I really honestly have no idea which one is going to work my skin. So we're going to open them up and we're going to swatch them. So those are the 2 on my hand here. It feels like the YSL one is a little bit pinky gray for me. It looks like it's matching. Like on camera it looks like it's matching, but in person it looks way too pink for me. So I'm going to use the Sephora one today. In terms of how they feel, this one feels very thick. I'm a little bit concerned on how this is going to look under the eyes. Mental note to Rachel, return YSL concealer. All right, so I'm gonna use a little bit under the eye to start because these things can get a little bit much if you put on a lot all at once. And I'm gonna use my finger to blend. I would normally use a brush or like a beauty blender, but I find those don't work as well for a really thick consistency product, and I find that my finger's just gonna work best for it. In terms of how it's blending and how it's covering, I would say it's doing a pretty good job. It seems to cover my really dark circles pretty well. I don't know, that's looking a little bit yellow. I might put a little bit of the YSL product into it and make it a little bit more neutral. That is looking a lot better, way better of a shade match now. So I guess note to self, Rachel, you are exchanging 2 concealers. And for powder today, I'm gonna be testing out the Victoria Beckham by Estee Lauder Skin Perfecting Powder. This is one of the ones from her newest launch that she did over Fashion Week. And I love the packaging for this stuff. It's so expensive, but it's so pretty. Like, look at this. Look how beautiful that is. Oh. That is white, people. Hopefully that's translucent. Okay, it seems to be showing up more translucent than it looks like here. I find sometimes there's like a one by NYX that turns my entire under eye area completely yellow. So fingers crossed this doesn't do that. All right, so that is that on my skin right there. I don't know, it looks fine. I'm not immediately wowed by it, but we'll see how it does just sort of holding up my foundation and everything throughout the day. All right, before we move on to powder, I need to show you guys up close because I started to go in and I just like to, after I do any sort of powder, use a damp blending sponge and just sort of tap over top just to help sink in any of the excess powder. Here, I'm gonna zoom in. Hopefully you guys will be able to tell, but right in here you can really see enlarged pores. It's starting to settle like underneath the eyes. It's not looking really good. But regardless, we will continue on. I'm gonna be testing out another product from Victoria Beckham. This is her new bronzer. Looks like so, again, with the beautiful, beautiful packaging. Let's test this out and see what it looks like. Very, very strong for me. It's very blendable, which is nice. It's showing up on my skin, which is also good, but not looking overly muddy or orange. Okay, now we're gonna go on to blush, and I'm gonna be using one from Pretty Vulgar. This is the Make Them Blush one in the number 13. I've never tried any of their blushes before, so this will be a first. Again, packaging A++. Pretty Vulgar has the cutest little packaging. Like, look how adorable that is. The shade looks really dark, but has a beautiful gold sheen to it. Ooh, whoa. It is very strong. It just, a little bit goes a long way, people. The shade is really pretty, but I think I want something a little bit more corally. Let's see what I have in my stock. All right, I have this one from e.l.f. This is called Glow, and it looks kind of corally, so let's try it. All right, that's a lot better. Something a little bit warmer, more orangey toned. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I started with a combination of the two matte shades from the Physicians Formula palette and just blended those underneath the lower lash line. And then I took a much thinner brush and dipped it into a combination of amber and blazing right close up against the lashes. And then I went in with the CoverGirl Ink It liner, copper ink, and I applied that to the lower waterline. And then I set that liner with a combination of the saffron and amber shades from the Huda Beauty palette. And then from there, I felt like the eyelids weren't dark enough. I needed to kind of deepen it up. So I started out just using some of the shades from the Physicians Formula palette. But then I decided I would go in with the bronzer I used from Victoria Beckham, and I used that to really deepen up the lids a little bit more, just to make it just slightly less of a stark contrast against the really deep colors of the lower lash line. Then I wanted to do a very subtle shimmer on the lids and more of a bronzy tone. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in Crown My Canopy, and I just added a very light wash of that to the lids. And now that we've got the eyes most of the way done, I want to go into the highlight. Oh, so many highlights to play with. So I'm going to start out with this one. It is a trio from Hourglass. This is their metallic strobe lighting palette. These are supposed to be super metallic and over the top, so I'm pretty excited about that. We have the three shades right here, a pink, a yellow, and a bronzy shade, so let's watch these. So that is the pink shade there. Nice and highlighty. They're very smooth. Oh my goodness. And then the last one is more of a bronzy tone. The only thing I will say is that this one feels a little pink, this one feels a little yellow, and this one is too dark for my skin. I don't know how I feel about the tones in this palette yet. The other highlights I want to test out are these three from Ofra. These were sent to me recently and I've been dying to swatch them, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start with this one, which is going to be way too dark for me, but I still want to swatch it because I might be interested in putting this on my eyes. This one is called Blind the Haters. Alrighty then. Very pretty metallic bronzy copper. Oh my goodness. That is no joke. Yeah, I might be putting that on my eyes. This next one here, this is in Glow Goals. More of a neutral, very light tone. I feel like I'm going to like this one a lot. Yep. I'm almost a little too dark. I don't know. And then the last one is a silvery frosty one in the shade Glazed Donut. I love that, because that is the goal of everyone who puts a ton of highlight on their face. That is white. That is white. That is a white, silver, nope, just white. I don't know. I was really excited about the highlights, but nothing is really like wowing me. I don't know, which is a little disappointing, but we'll play with them anyway. So I think I will start with a combination of these two metallic shades from the Hourglass palette first. Whoa! Coming through for me, Hourglass. Ooh. That combination is beautiful. All right, I stand corrected. My apologies to you, Hourglass. That is gorgeous. I'm just gonna dust off my brush here, and then I'm going to take the Ofra one. This is Glow Goals, and I'm going to apply that sort of to the center of the face. Also, this one is no joke. Oh, that's too shiny. Oh, now we're in competition. I don't know which one I like better. I barely tapped my brush into this, and like I can see it on top of the highlight that I just did from Hourglass. That is intense. All right, let's take this Glazed Donut shade and we're gonna apply this to the inner corner. These are amazing. See, it just goes to show you, swatching things on your arms, sometimes it does not do the product justice. I issue my full statement of apology to Ofra and Hourglass. These are amazing. If I had to pick one that would be my favorite, it would probably be the one from Ofra, the Glow Goals. Oh, it's Nikki Tutorials. I didn't even, are they all? They are. It didn't say on the package. Oh, well, there you go. Now I know why it's so blinding. And lastly, for the lips, I'm gonna be testing out a product from MAC. These aren't overly new. I believe they relaunched or launched them in the spring or beginning of summer. And these are the Pro Longwear Longlasting Lips. I just received a press sample yesterday, so wanted to test them out. So it has two sides, one that has the lip color in it, which is supposed to be super long wearing and water resistant. And on this end right here is a hydrating top coat. And yeah, it's supposed to just be a really feel-good long wearing lip color. So let's test it out. I love the shade. It is such a nice warm peachy neutral for fall, and it has this really nice subtle gold sheen to it. It's not too over the top, but it still is there. Now I've just applied the color. I haven't applied the top coat, so it's really sticky right now. So don't love that. Like, look at this. So now I'm going to take the glossy end. Fun fact, the color is not showing up on this little brush, so that's good. And stickiness is gone. Awesome. It feels very glossy in almost like an oily way. Feels hydrating. See how long wearing it is? Who's to say, but I really like the overall look. Looks really nice. Very fall, but very like natural and neutral, you know? Just kidding, I changed my mind slightly. I was feeling like the lip color was a little bit dark for the eye look I was doing, so I just lightened it up because I still wanted to test out how long wearing the MAC product is, and I put a tiny bit of the Too Faced Melted Latex on top in Hopeless Romantic. In terms of standouts of products I really liked, number one would have to be that highlight. Where did I put it? The Glow Goals by Ofra. I honestly, when I swatched on my hand, wasn't overly impressed. I was like, meh, it's fine, whatever. Putting it on your skin though, like on your, this is also your skin, Rachel. Putting it on your face, totally different. And the other standout for me was the Physicians Formula Quad. This is so good. Not just the shimmers, but also the mattes were pigmented. They blended out really well. And these apparently can be used wet or dry. So I'm going to continue to play with these and just see what kind of looks I can get kind of playing with wet and dry textures. And then in terms of the products I wasn't so much impressed with, I would have to say, first of all, I'm putting it over here because I'm returning it, the Sephora Make No Mistake High Coverage Concealer for the purposes that I was using it for, which would be to cover up under eye circles. Not a good fit for me. I think that if you have a lot of acne spots and things like that where you want to have very precise application and very thick coverage, this might be a good product for you. It does cancel out a lot of the tones, like the blue tones, so it should cover up any red tones as well. And then you can kind of press a powder on top to set it, and I think that would work a lot better. And the other product I was okay with is the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. I think my brows look good in a very natural way. I think if you are new to brows, this is a good product to use. For me, personally, I just, honestly, as I said before, I think the Brow is just better for me. I actually tried it with a little like sponge applicator that it came with. I personally don't do my brows that way. I would prefer it to look like little brow hairs versus just filled in the middle. That's just a personal preference for me. I don't think it's a bad product. I just think that I like other ones from them better. And now I am going to go about my day, and I will check in with you guys at the end, and I will let you know what everything is looking like. Okay, so we are back. It is the end of the day. This is my makeup. Hello, this is my makeup. So let's just dive in. I'm gonna start first with the lip product because I need to talk about it. So, didn't like it. I probably had the lip product on for around 2 hours or so, and it wasn't an issue until I actually ate something, and then I started to notice the issue. So first of all, when I was eating, the lip gloss, like that clear gloss, was starting to wear off, and the stickiness was starting to come back. And then any crumbs, I was eating nachos, so like crumbs were like sticking to the sticky lip color underneath, and I couldn't get them off, which was the most irritating part. Like they were just sticking there. I tried taking like tissue or paper towel. I didn't want to like use an actual like cloth, you know, because I didn't want to get it all dirty. So it was just an irritating process. I couldn't get it off, and I was just like, screw it. So I just like took off the lip color. So I don't actually know if it's long wearing, but I don't like it. I noticed that the concealer started to darken in areas. It was wearing off close to my eyes. The mascara was fine. I wasn't super wowed by it. I loved when I first applied it, but it's not my favorite of all of the mascaras that I've tried. And the brow powder, wasn't super impressed with it. I didn't really notice that it was staying in longer. I noticed like little like bald patches in my brows here and there. So it doesn't have the longevity that I was expecting, and overall I just was kind of like meh about it. I really like the eyeshadows. I think those have been great, and the highlights are beautiful. They looked stunning on the skin all day long. I loved them both. So it was kind of a mixed bag today. It was like a mixture of products I really, really liked and then products that I don't like at all. And that's everything for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like these whole full face first impression type videos and you want to see more of them. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's everything. I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing week so far, and we'll see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah!